Well, hi there, everybody. Happy Star Trek Tuesday to all of you and your loved ones and you trolls out there. How's it going? This is, of course, the Main Viewer Live. It's a big Star Trek live news show. We're going to talk about all the fun news of the week, mostly Star Trek related. We also have a very special guest today that we're going to talk about. So here's what's in the news real quick that we're going to be covering. A giant event happened yesterday. Another giant event will be happening again soon. We'll tell you what that event is. Right now they're saying even bigger than the Cisco Day. Whoa. Maybe not.
It's a high bar.
But maybe.
That is hard.
But high bar is related to this thing because it's related to the I bar in a way that some people would recognize.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be talking about, of course, all the stuff that happened at the Cisco Day. Ira Stephen Bear said some pretty interesting things. Srock Lofton, you may have heard of him, also said some pretty interesting things. A lot of things happened. We're going to try to cover a lot of it, but there was a lot. We also have some Star Trek Strange New Worlds news. Showrunner says something pretty interesting that you may want to know about. Shockingly interesting, in fact. Also a little bit more Strange New Worlds news. IDW will be launching something to do with Strange New Worlds. Our very special guest, check this out real quick. Let me pull this up. Do you recognize this person that we're pulling up right here?
Yay.
Do you recognize that person? Also,
he's in one of my favorite Voyager episodes.
Do you recognize this person? That character right there. Who are those two people? The answer, of course, is they're the same picture.
Mm-hmm. And the guy from Virtuoso.
Oh.
I think maybe my favorite Star Trek episode ever.
I saw him on the Seventh Rule. He was great there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Let's pull him up on Virtuoso. I don't see it. Too
He's
much
like
work.
one of the leaders of, I can't remember the alien species who are convinced that the EMH is like the best opera singer and they try and recruit him for their planet. That's my favorite episode.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cute.
All right. So he will be joining us a little bit later because he's got a great new project. I don't even want to call it a project. It's actually a very, very cool and important thing. And it'll move you. It'll groove you. It's really important. It's really cool. So he will be joining us a little later to talk about that. Who's here, though, right now is Melissa Longo.
Hi.
Who also had lots of great things to say on the Cisco Day.
Mm-hmm. She's wearing a really cool shirt, everybody. You can get that shirt, the Decor Province Majors. That is a cool freaking style. Great color. At the Star Trek and Chill online store, at the description box below, there's a link. You click on that link and you can get yourself that shirt. In fact, you can get yourself every shirt except for the one I'm wearing. Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel and her Neelix and Chill shirt. You can get that at the online store as well. And Dr. Mohammed Noor is here wearing the beautiful Cisco family shirt that I love so
Cisco
much.
family.
Love that.
Oh, by the way, all of those shirts and everything at the Star Trek and Chill store, which is our online store that you can get. There's the description box below. You just click on that link. Everything is 25% off for the rest of this week for the Cisco Day with promo code Cisco, SISKO. Get whatever you want, as much as you want. It's all 25% off for the Cisco. Oh, and I'm wearing this cool shirt. Look at that,
amazing.
1986. Boy, that was a great convention. I remember it like it was yesterday. Just kidding. Someone gave it to my brother a long time ago, and he gave it to me.
Jealous.
That's it. That's the story behind it. It was a hand-me-down of a hand-me-down. And it makes me feel cool. Oh, so
Vintage.
before we get into all the fun stuff that happened yesterday and all the news that came from it, let's say hello to Aaron, Linda Anderegg, Robert Kaiser, Scott Jensen the 13th, David Gregory, and so on and so forth. Shag 840, Jenny R. Johnson is hanging out. She did some amazing stuff yesterday as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh wait, can we just say my favorite part
yes.
my favorite part of the live chat yesterday of all 14 hours was when we were showing a Jenny R. Johnson like super speed video, and someone was like, what's the exact?
They said cool.
They did not know. They were like, and we'll just put a few happy little Bajorans here.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Put just a few happy little Bajorans right here in the corner, right next to the stream.
Like Dave Mattingly. So funny.
Yeah. So hello to Jenny, Lisa Mackey, of course, Chuck A. How's it going? May Borello, Dave Gregory, and all of you, Matt Boardman. Matt Boardman was the MVP yesterday, of course. However, so
and back of the head also.
And back of the head, hello, back of the head. Good to see you, John Orchiola. Matt Boardman was the MVP yesterday because he did a lot of web design, a lot of graphic design. However, we're going to announce the next event. And speaking of graphic design, I, challenged myself to do a little graphic design as well. I spent quite some time on this. I'm kind of proud of it. So this will be to announce what is the next event. Here it is. Check this out, everybody. I'm going to pull it up. Let's see. Quit your snickering. Here it is. It reads, what do you think of that's some pretty good, that's some talent. It says, hey, why are you laughing? This is good stuff.
You want me to
hey,
read?
Everybody.
I just wasn't.
Actually, yeah. Muhammad, do you want to read it?
Sure. Hey, everybody. Sunday, July 16th. It's
shoot. Wait.
I just corrected it, as I said.
There we go.
Is virtual TrekCon's STLV. Pre-con. Can you believe it? This sentence is in a smaller font. The end of the Cisco Day marks the beginning of Star Trek Las Vegas season. So this July 16th, we will have a full day of live programming with a bunch of groups and special guests sharing what they're doing at the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas. Events, tables, parties, panels, lunches, maybe hangover remedies or price crunching hacks. We're looking forward to it. Love, VTC. Here's a drawing of a rose.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what Rose.
I didn't know how to draw roses. I screenshotted it, so I remember.
All right, everybody. What did you think?
Robert Kaiser says, great graphic design. I should make our merch website in that style.
So, what did you think of it, though, Muhammad? You were the one reading it.
I thought it was really cool. I think you should do a poll to see what people are most excited about hearing about with respect to Star Trek Las Vegas. Which of those things from that list? I think it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun because, I mean, a lot of people are going to Vegas, and because, I mean, there were at a period there where there weren't live conventions. They came back. Now it's been around for a little bit, but there's a lot of people who haven't gone, in maybe because of the pandemic, maybe just because they haven't been up to it. Maybe they're new Star Trek fans, but this is a great opportunity to learn what is it like at the convention before the convention and do a lot of prep. And I remember before my first Vegas convention was in 2016. And I had listened to all sorts of podcasts and videos, stuff like that, to try to get prep for it. This would be nice having a whole day where you can pick specific content that you want for it and all put in one convenient place and all for free. Yay.
Wow, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so basically we'll give you more information, and we may have a better graphic coming soon. If that, let us know if you think it needed a little bit more color or what improvements you think, because we're still workshopping it. As you know, it is about 8 weeks away, a little bit less than 8 weeks away, because Star Trek Las Vegas is 10 weeks away. So it is officially Star Trek convention season. As soon as the Cisco day is over, should be a good time. So yeah, let us know if you want to do some panels, or if you want to talk about your panel, or if you want to show off the cosplay that you're working on. I have like this image of like somebody saying, I have a really cool Porthos cosplay that I'm working on. It's almost done. And they're like, I only have 2 weeks left. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then we're like, then get off this thing and get to work or whatever. But, should be a nice.
They better bring the cheese.
They better not.
There's a good beagle costume in Amazon you can order. I remember my son did that in the 2016 convention. He went to Porthos and bought this beagle costume from there.
That's adorable.
It's so cute.
Mhm. So it should be a good time. Also, for people that have never been, this will, give them an idea of everything that's going on, all the events that, to look forward to, all the panels, the meetups and things like that, so they kind of know what's going on. And for the people that aren't going, they'll get to enjoy a day of almost as if they did go, except less expensive.
People can test out their
right.
panels. I remember before my first talk at DragonCon 2016, I did a video version of it, I put it online, and people gave me all sorts of helpful comments that actually helped improve the panel before I gave it at DragonCon.
Really?
So yeah,
that's great. So just one final thought on this. Of course, the Star Trek Las Vegas convention, officially called 57-Year Mission Las Vegas. This is going to be on August 3rd through 6th. Sorry, Dad. My dad's birthday is August 3rd. I won't get to see you this year, but I'll party with him before, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you will.
We'll have a joint birthday party.
But anyway, so check it out. That's what it is. That's creationentertainment.com or creationent.com for all your local listings or whatever people used to say. So first things first, as far as the news is concerned, Dr. Noor.
Right as you said, though, an email came in from Creation. Literally right as you said, Creation.
This is up to the minute news. What is it?
I haven't pulled it up. Let's see.
You mean breaking news?
There you go.
Wow.
Captain,
Creation's
incoming
Memorial
message.
Day sale. Get 10% off all available tickets today. Sale ends Monday, May 29th at 9:00 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Literally just came in like just the minute.
I've been waiting for them to send that email.
Oh.
Tickets.
Their ears were ringing.
They're on sale now.
Watch the main viewer and they're like, okay, send it right now.
Ow.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you though, Ryan, with that.
No, that's exactly
That's
what we
great
need.
information.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move forward and talk about, well, yesterday, I guess that's moving backward, but moving forward in the show. This is an article on screenrant.com, written by our good buddy John Orchiola. Cirroc Lofton celebrates the Cisco Day and talks Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Mohammed, would you like to give this a little read?
Be happy to.
All right.
If I do you justice, John. I know you're in the chat. Star Trek Deep Space Nine's Captain Benjamin Sisko, played by Avery Brooks, receives his own holiday named the Cisco Day on May 22nd. This is all thanks to Cirroc Lofton and his Star Trek podcast, The Seventh Rule. Yay. Lofton portrayed Captain Sisko's son Jake in all 7 seasons of DS9, and in 2019, he founded The Seventh Rule with Aaron Eisenberg, who played Nog on DS9, producer Ryan T. Husk, and Melissa Longo, who's here on this podcast right now. The latter too, but Star Trek celebrates several themed holidays throughout the calendar year, including First Contact Day in April, Captain Picard Day in June, and Star Trek Day in September. With their Star Trek roots from DS9, Lofton and the Seventh Rule believe that Captain Sisko deserves his own day of recognition, and they created the Cisco Day to celebrate Deep Space Nine's captain and Avery Brooks, who made history as the first African-American to lead a Star Trek series. Screenrant had the absolute pleasure to chat with Cirroc Lofton about founding the Cisco Day, his real-life relationship with Avery Brooks, the Seventh Rule podcast reviewing every episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek The Next Generation, and more, actually, which we'll see later in the article, and whether Lofton will reprise Jake Sisko in Star Trek on Paramount+.
Wow. Is there more to this?
There is more.
Wow, there's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Let me skip
whole
through
interview.
this. This is a great one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw my name. That's so sweet. I love it when Cirroc says my name. He's so nice about that. He's always like, don't forget, Ryan does stuff too. He pushes buttons and writes really cool graphics.
You do a lot. You do a lot, and Cirroc appreciates you because Cirroc is wonderful, and you are also wonderful.
Thanks very much. So yeah, this is just an entire interview. It's long and it's great. So everybody go check that out on screenrant.com to check out the entire interview. Srock's a great interview too, because
Yes, he is.
have you noticed he doesn't just give like canned answers?
Mm-mm.
He gives like a different answer to the same question every time. You know, some people like they say the same thing, or they say the same stories over and over again, or they give the same answers, whereas Srock just kind of like stops and thinks, and it feels like he gives like a different answer every time. He always keeps you guessing. You never know.
I love that. It feels more real as opposed to rehearsed.
Yeah. Okay, so Lisa Mackey says bravo to the 7th rule. Thank you very much. Shag 840 says, hey, I know those people. Robert Kaiser says, I paid the ticket for this year at the con last year. Oh, I paid the ticket for this year at the con last year. That's always the best price you can get. Interesting. That is a good.
Yeah.
Good.
You should save it for the pre-con when we're telling everybody the life hacks.
Yes.
Smart. Okay. Dave Gregory says Srock is deep, and John Orchiola says Srock is a fantastic interview. So, up next, following up on the Screen Rant talk, let me read this one real quick.
There's a quick comment from back of the head saying the video of the Srock interview is also worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So it was recorded as well. Oh, that's great. I didn't know that.
Mm. I saw it pop up on YouTube.
So check it out, everybody. Not right now. So this article, also written by Back of the Head, aka John Orchiola, says Cisco's perfect ending explained by Star Trek Deep Space Nine showrunner. Star Trek Deep Space Nine showrunner Ira Steven Behr shared his perfect ending for the story of Captain Benjamin Sisko. After 7 years of DS9, Cisco became one with the prophets of Bajor and became a non-linear being. Ben left behind his son Jake, his wife Cassidy Yates, and their infant son. Do we know for sure yet if that was a son? We all say it's a son, but I'm never sure if that was confirmed. Anyway,
Well,
it continues.
In season 8, they said it was a son, but Penny Johnson Gerald
Of the documentary?
Of the documentary said it was a son.
Named
But
Joe.
yeah,
So cute.
I believe so. And but Penny Johnson Gerald always said that she had a girl. So
Ooh. Twinsies, you got twins. Captain
Twins.
Sisko promised he would return one day, but he has canonically not been part of the Star Trek franchise's current golden age on Paramount Plus. Do you guys think he ever will be?
For Jake Sisko coming back, or for
No, Captain Sisko.
for Captain Sisko.
Captain Cisco.
Avery Brooks.
That's a tough one. I mean,
I
I
don't
love
think
it.
I don't think he's gonna settle for people, or like he could do a cameo or like a few lines voice. I don't think he's gonna do that when like the other captains have their own shows.
Well, and I agree with that. I mean, he deserves more than a cameo, I think.
It'd be kind of funny even as a cameo too, because then it'd be like, well, wait, when did he come back? How, what, you know, it would be very
Right.
odd, just like if you just showed up, like, well, it would almost leave more questions than resolving.
Yeah.
Someone once said Star Trek asks more questions than gives answers.
Well, especially with a prophet, I feel like that would be kind of in keeping with his character. But I just don't think he'll do it if it's not a series about him.
Okay. Every time you say prophet, though, I think of Ferengi. It's funny. I know it's spelled differently, but
To do it for profit.
Yeah.
Mhm. So it continues. Ira Steven Behr joined a special panel in honor of the Cisco Day, a holiday Sirach Lofton and his Star Trek podcast, The Seventh Rule, established to recognize Captain Sisko. Behr spoke about crafting Cisco's story on Star Trek Deep Space Nine and shared personal anecdotes about working with Avery Brooks. Behr also described how he would end Cisco's story if the captain returned from his celestial walk with the prophets, read his quote below. And his quote goes a little something like this. I'll do it in my Ira Stephen Bear impression. Just kidding. I won't. I'm just going to read it. Ira Stephen Bear says, my belief is that when Cisco comes back, forget about is there going to be a Deep Space Nine. For me, the perfect ending for the story is Cisco moving down to Bajor with Cassidy and living on Bajor. Not a Starfleet officer anymore. He's beyond that and living a quiet, and maybe Jake, I'm not sure, but maybe Jake there too, at least part of the time. But a quiet life where he will be able to certainly still have, I mean, he's still the frickin' emissary, so they can still want him to be part of the society, but I think in a very, very, very special place. Cisco has done the thing that he needed to do as the emissary. Anything beyond that is really a gift that he can either give them or not. And to me, that would be the most beautiful end of the story. You guys, I just realized how cool would it be if they just had like a mini series, like a 4-episode mini series of Benjamin Sisko, retired life as the emissary on a beautiful Bajoran farm with Cassidy, their child. Jake comes to visit. Like that could be like, not the inciting incident, but where the story begins is like, you know, they're raising their kid. Their kid's maybe 16 or something like that. And then there's a knock at the door and it's Jake Cisco and they're catching up, you know, and all.
Well, we already know that he owns land there.
That's right.
And was building a little model house for him and Cassidy.
What was the tree name that he said that they had like trees there, like something trees, bonsa trees? Emery, you usually know this stuff.
I don't know. I don't know that. I
forgot. What?
Someone in the live chat knows. What were those trees that he was talking about? Like, I feel like it was like bonsa.
Yeah. And then Cassidy made the story of Ben asking where his teeth are. She tells him, in the glass next to the bed where you left them. And they're old.
They're such a cute couple.
It's so sweet.
I'm going to find out what these trees are.
I was looking at the live chat, see if anybody said it, but nobody said it yet.
I know where to find it.
Go to that website with all the scripts. Chakotea.net.
Oh.
No, I'll tell you where. Let's see. It is pulling it up. Almost there. No.
EL says, I would prefer a 4-hour movie as I would not be wanting to wait a week for each installment. Fair point. Fair point, BL.
Yeah, streaming has
It's gotten us spoiled.
Spoiled us.
Scott Jensen says, all I want from Star Trek is for the Cisco family to be together and happy. All I want.
Yes,
Everything
I don't want any
okay.
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to meet the Cisco kids.
Jenny Johnson says, I'm enjoying Ryan obsessing over the tree.
MOBA trees.
There we go.
MOBA. Oh, yes.
Dave Gregory said it right at the same time as you.
MOBA trees.
Yeah.
Kendra Province Kendra Valley in the Kendra Province has MOBA trees.
Yeah.
Boy, aren't we glad we know that.
Yeah.
That could have been our trivia question.
Oh, yeah, that's true. David Gregory would have won that one. Good job, David Gregory.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're awesome, Dave.
He knows.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. It continues. Let's pull this thing back up. Oh, and here is obviously the video. So everybody at home, the video is up on the 7th Rule YouTube channel. But if you go to screenrant.com and read the article, you can also watch the video right here. It's embedded right there. By the way, this amazing graphic was by Mr. Matt Boardman. Look at this.
So great.
Magic.
Yeah.
So Ira Stephen Bear's ideal conclusion for Captain Benjamin Sisko's story is poetic and perfectly in tune with the macro story arc he and DS9's writers crafted over 7 seasons. But Bear's pitch also sounds like a definitive happy ending, which indicates the showrunner considers Cisco's DS9 story over. But just lacking the perfect how do you pronounce that word?
Where are we?
Denouement. I don't know. In French, it's
Denouement?
denouement, but I don't know how to say it in English.
I
I
have
think
no
that's how
idea.
you say it.
Denouement.
I don't know that
Of
word.
Ben
I think it's said in
I
French.
think,
denouement.
yeah.
I don't think people say it the French way. Of
Oh, we have the
I
author
just
in
don't
the, in
think
the
they
chat.
do.
Sound
On
it
the
out in the chat.
On the X Files, they do.
How do they
That's the
say it?
Denouement.
Oh, well then, yeah, very good. Denouement. Of Ben coming back to live a quiet life on Bajor with his beloved family. In Bear's mind, Cisco's great tasks as the emissary of the prophets and as a Starfleet officer who led the Federation to victory in the Dominion War are accomplished. That reminds me of real quick, when I was a kid, we were supposed to read out loud in school. I think I was in 6th grade, and we're reading about Charlemagne. But I've never heard of it. I just saw a French word. So I said Charlemagne, right? And the teacher never said, oh, Ryan, it's in English, we just say Charlemagne. So I just went through the whole 3 paragraphs saying that the French way. And then afterwards, when I heard other people saying the name out loud, I was like, oh, you guys say it a different way than I just saw French words in the French way.
Jenny Johnson says it's denouement.
Denouement. Ugly. And it continues a little bit more of this. Meanwhile, Star Trek Deep Space Nine has largely been absent, right, from the franchise's revival on Paramount Plus, and the lack of Sisko and Avery Brooks is perhaps the biggest reason why fans and Deep Space Nine cast have been hoping for some form of revival, perhaps a made-for-streaming DS9 movie on Paramount Plus. If not a reunion series like Star Trek Picard, but without Captain Sisko, such a project would be missing a vital piece of the DS9 puzzle. As Ira Stephen Bear said, Sisko's mission as emissary is done, and anything more is a gift. But it is still a gift Star Trek Deep Space Nine fans hope to one day receive.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I just feel, I don't know. I feel like Cisco's not coming back, but I hope I'm wrong. What do you guys think?
Well, Benjamin Sisko, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't hear from Jake Sisko and even
Sure,
the other Ciscos.
And
Just
Cassidy,
all the rest of Deep Space Nine in general. Like, it'd be fun to have, even without Avery. Obviously, we got it with Avery, but even without Avery, some sort of reunion thing would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Even beyond, I know there was this kind of mini one in Lower Decks, but even something more comprehensive than that. Because it was great that we had Nana come back and Armin come back, but it wasn't as comprehensive as potentially could have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great to wet the whistle with that.
Exactly. Well said.
What? Let's go ahead and move on. This is an article. This is big news, you guys. This is big stuff. Comicbook.com, and to go to them for all your Star Trek news.
Well, actually you do, because in reality they're owned by Paramount. So a lot of times they get exclusives.
Exactly. Somebody found that a few years ago when they're like, why do they only say good things about Star Trek in this thing? Like, they're looking for them to say something negative. And then they scroll down to the bottom and it said a CBS, ownership, something or other at the bottom. And they're like, it's because they own it. Well, you're reading it, bro.
They cover interviews.
Right.
They cover what, Amory?
They cover interviews. So, I mean, of course, it's amazing.
So check this one out. Really cool. This is big news. Star Trek Strange New Worlds showrunner teases more crossovers.
Yay.
What more than just the Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks one that's happening in Strange New Worlds coming up? Mohammed, would you like to read this one for us?
Sure. Can you make it a little bigger, please?
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2 will feature an episode crossing over with Star Trek Lower Decks, but the Star Trek crossovers may not end there. Showrunner and series co-creator Akiva Goldsman teased in a recent interview with SFX that more crossovers between Star Trek Strange New Worlds and other Star Trek shows are a possibility. Quote, I'm as promiscuous as it comes, period. No, that's not the end. I'm as promiscuous as it comes when we discuss the crossing over into other series timelines.
Wow.
I delight in that, Goldman said. However, he's not looking to mix shows for the sake of mixing shows. I think our rule is it can't just be fan service, which is not to say we don't love servicing fans, but there also has to be real storytelling. I didn't touch that one.
Right after that promiscuous line.
Yeah, right.
So he's saying that he's as promiscuous as it comes and he loves to serve his fans.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, right.
Wowie.
Anyway, but there also has to be a real storytelling he says, of which I think there are many. As for the crossover Star Trek Lower Decks, Goldsman said, quote, we had a really good time doing that and got to work with our extended family from the other show, both on camera and off. And of course, Jonathan Frakes directed it. So in many ways, it's a Star Trek melting pot, that episode. And there are more, but far be it for me to spoil.
Oh,
I love that line.
It was so fun when Tani and Celia mentioned how they had seen each other in Canada for the Strange New Worlds filming.
Yeah.
So
great.
cool.
It was a great panel too.
So I mean, there is the hint of that. If you have Aaron Wolke on First Alerts on Twitter, sometimes you see him allude to during the Picard season 3, he would say some cryptic things about how maybe it's somehow related to Prodigy. So who knows?
Sky's the limit.
I hope so.
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's continue along this line. I was just remembering something.
Plus, Strange New Worlds and Section 31 could overlap a little.
Ooh. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Jonathan Frakes directed the Star Trek Strange New Worlds and Star Trek Lower Decks crossover. If you count behind the scenes, the crossover elements of the episode expand across practically the entire franchise since Jonathan Frakes directed it. Frakes, who plays William Riker in the Star Trek universe and has directed 30 episodes of Star Trek across its various series, as well as 2 major motion pictures, previously discussed helming Star Trek Strange New Worlds hybrid episode. I like that name. Oh God, it's so good. Frakes tells us.
Oh.
There's a trend here.
Yeah, right. Quote, I have Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsome, who are both amazing. It was such a treat for me because it was a flat out comedy, full on. And they're fearless over there. They take some really big swings on Strange New Worlds. They're animated at the beginning and at the end. It's a clever and simple product. It's not really Roger Rabbit, because what happens is these guys come over and they're humans, and you accept them as soon as they're on the Enterprise. God, the 2 of them have got great energy, and it freed up the acting company on Strange New Worlds to... Wait, what?
Strange. What? Huh?
Oh yeah, it was down there. It was there. Go back down.
Okay.
To play more broadly, Anson's a wonderful comedian, very dry, but so is Rebecca. It encouraged Ethan and everyone. There were just a lot of positives that came out of them having the guts to do a full-on comedy, let alone a crossover with an animated show.
So there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
They start off animated.
Yeah.
And they end animated.
It's
So
probably they
that's
beam over
fun.
from an animated ship and then are like non-animated, and then they beam back, I'm guessing, to an animation. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just guessing
So
from that
fun.
context.
Uh-huh.
and he said you accept it pretty quickly. which is important because it might be jarring. It might be like we're watching an animated show, and I'm glad that he said it's not like Roger Rabbit, because I'm not good.
Okay, I wanted it to be Roger Rabbit.
I'm not good with with the things that mix animated and live action. I just never liked the way it looked. Amber, you like it though?
I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So good. I mean, I really am happy with either way. They can do no wrong. It's going to be amazing.
So this is kind of like the Captain Proton thing in Voyager, right? Where they go in and it's all black and white, and they come out and it's not. So it sounds like it's more like that, which is really cool.
I mean, but it's going to be a lot more jarring than that, I would think, if it's like a fully silly lower decks looking colorful animation, and then it just turns into regular live action.
They do it like that Discovery episode where they do the previously on Star Trek, and it's Menagerie, and then is it Menagerie?
Oh, that was great. That was brilliant.
So they've done it where it's like two different looks. But what I want to know is if you see any of Strange New Worlds cast animated.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be
my God. Then Anson Mount Pike will look like Johnny Bravo.
Oh my
God.
God.
Like have his hair.
Exactly.
They'll have his hair so high up.
I would love that.
And it'll be like swooshed, you know?
That'd be amazing.
They should really just go to town with it. If they have him animated, they should just go give the fans what they want and just make his hair like a Hawaiian surfer wave, you know?
Like Marge Simpson.
Oh, that's good stuff. Uh-oh. In the live chat, Back of the Head says, I know the answer to that.
Oh, spoilers.
Ooh.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
He actually says something earlier that's pretty relevant too. He says, with this crossover, we'll finally confirm, although we knew this already, us did at least, is that Lower Decks and Prodigy are canon, dispelling how some people think they aren't because they're animated. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
It was made canon once TAS was deemed canon.
Like I said, we all knew that here on screen, probably most people who are watching, but there's a subset who probably didn't fully appreciate that. That's a good point.
Wasn't one of the short treks animated?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ephraim and Dot or something like that?
Well, actually, two are animated.
Yeah, and also the girl who made the stars.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Although that one, I don't know. I mean, if anything wasn't canon, I can't remember it that closely, but it was more like, wasn't it like a dad reading a book?
Yeah. Yeah. It felt like it was a young Michael Burnham getting read to.
Of course, by that, then the Tribble serial is also canon.
Ew.
Having trouble with that word.
Jenny R. Johnson in the live chat says, yes, it's all canon. Now, this is all capital letters and several exclamation points.
Yeah.
So you know it's true.
Yeah.
She's like, look, end of discussion. They're all canon. How many exclamation points do I need to confirm this? I think you nailed it.
Yep. This is a good source. Man, we trust her.
And the animated series should be canon. Like there was like some waffling going on back in the day about it wasn't canon. It was. I'm still not even 100% sure if they've reconfirmed it as canon. But like in my mind, the way they always said it was anything that's on a movie screen or a TV screen is canon. That's it.
YouTube.
True.
I think it was like a Gene Roddenberry quote, but then like Roddenberry came back and said it is canon. So that was like some of the confusion.
Oh.
Confusing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very simple.
It is canon.
Yeah.
It is canon. Yeah.
Pat Boardman says, especially the animated series.
Oh my God, what I just remembered. I need to find the screenshot. At some point in the past week, the way your light was hitting Ryan, it like made your eyes look like you couldn't see the whites. It looked like you were on the animated series.
Oh, we've had that sometimes.
I don't know what time of day it is when you record, but I need to like find that again.
There have been a couple times people that shall remain nameless when we've done shows, on the Seventh Rule or on Virtual TrekCon, where with the lighting, their skin color and their eye
Yeah.
color look the same, and they look like I was looking at the
awesome.
animated series.
They have to play
Animated
that.
series, they
Go
should
ahead.
trademark that style because it's very
Yeah.
recognizable,
It's
even in
very
real
distinct.
life.
So much
They should play.
fun.
They should play that dramatic music from the animated series.
And I was like, is this
Love
the
it.
crossover?
Is this the real life or is this
Yeah, I
just
need
the
to look for that.
animated?
That's
I
hilarious.
know.
Actually,
Escape from reality.
Love that song.
Oh my God.
I do
Shag
too.
840 says, hey, pretty mama, you know, this baby can hit warp 10. That's like Anson Mount Bean, Johnny Bravo.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I forgot he always says, hey, pretty mama.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. Love that cartoon.
while we're at it, just real quick, for just a moment here.
Mhm.
Wait. Let me get this right. Here it is. So this is something I like very much.
That's like
No.
Anson Mount Bean, Johnny Bravo.
Oh my gosh.
Why isn't it playing the music? There it is.
Space or strange new worlds.
Just play the song. There it is.
Oh my God, I just love the way the Enterprise flies by in this.
Too good.
So good.
I know Melissa was counting the seconds right there.
Go over 14.
I just love that tune.
Mhm.
All right.
I
Well,
do
let's
like that.
Oh, what
Yeah.
tech fan just got here?
I know.
That amazing Twitter thread about Cisco
Oh my
data from yesterday.
gosh. Yeah. She always does such great coverage.
Mhm.
He's the #1 Trek fan.
Exactly. And also those amazing columns in the official Star Trek magazine for Collector's Corner. So
Very cool.
awesome.
Mhm.
So continuing on with Strange New Worlds, that article just goes on to say when it premieres. We all know that season 2 premieres June 15th. I'll just bet that's a Thursday. Because why stop now?
Oh, yeah.
But along those lines, from trekmovie.com, we've got this great article on something I didn't know anything about. What do you say, Mohammed? Can you give us a read for us? It's entitled IDW Launching New Star Trek Strange New Worlds miniseries in August. Cool.
Oh, I didn't know
That's
about
cool.
this. Is the font funny there? Okay, now it's better. I know it was funny at first.
Mhm.
IDW Publishing has revealed their second tie-in to the Paramount Plus original series, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We have details on that, plus more Trek comics coming in August, including middle issues from the 5-issue Day of Blood crossover event, the final issue of the Deep Space Nine, the Dog of War miniseries, and the penultimate issue, second to last, from the brand new Star Trek The Motion Picture Echoes miniseries. The publisher is also celebrating their first Eisner Award nominations for Star Trek comics. Note, RI covers not yet available. So
Yeah, I saw 2 of their nominations. So awesome.
Scorpius Run arrives after Strange New Worlds Season 2 finale. This new Strange New Worlds comics miniseries is titled Scorpius Run, and the first issue arrives on August 23rd, which is 1 week after the Season 2 finale. It's like the next episode, kind of. Here's the official synopsis. Set course with Captain Pike and the crew of the USS Enterprise to the Scorpius constellation. As they venture into the unknown, the Enterprise crew learn what it truly means to traverse through the strange and unfamiliar when they lose contact with Starfleet and find themselves trapped in unexplored space. The series is being written by the same team behind Strange New Worlds, the Illyrian Enigma, SNW co-executive producer Kirsten Beyer, and veteran comics writer Mike Johnson. The art is being done by artist Angel Hernandez, who worked with Beyer and Johnson on previous tie-ins, most recently Star Trek Picard Stargazer. The series
I
will
remember that
include,
name.
the series will include multiple covers, with Hernandez doing the A covers. IDW has revealed the 3 covers for issue #1.
I'm sure nobody wants to see those, though, right?
We do. While you were reading Muhammad, I pictured what it would have been like to be your kid, like Adam. I imagine that you've read a lot of books to him.
I did. I think my wife Julie did more, but I did read that fair number to him too.
Awesome.
Here are those covers now. This is cover number 1 or cover A. Very nice. Oh, it feels like it's missing somebody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's missing 2 people. La'an. Oh, because she's gone.
And a chief engineer.
And
Right.
so I wonder. So this just takes place right after season 1 then,
Ooh.
Well,
and before season
Una's,
2.
But Una's
No.
there. Una
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
be there after season 1.
Mhm.
Since it comes out in August, maybe it takes place right after season 2.
Good point. Yeah.
Maybe just
Or
ambiguous.
maybe we scroll down and see the other
Yeah,
covers.
she knows.
Oh, that looks like Lon.
Oh,
Mhm.
Hammer as the Force ghost up in the corner here.
Oh, he's an angel.
There's La'an floating on
Yeah.
I don't want to speculate what are they in a giant's nose or something?
I was just thinking boogers.
Oh, I still like the-
Melissa, we don't say the B word around here.
I still like
Oh,
the Force
sorry.
Ghost idea for Hammer.
Love
right
it.
here.
Yeah.
Use
And
the
it looks
Force
like there's some alien's head right here.
Yeah.
Ah,
Interesting. Very cool. And then, of course, this is
Wow.
for those of you
Hello.
that want this kind of
Oh,
cover.
GQ.
yeah, I don't want to say hello.
That just looks like a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll choose one of the first two.
I like the space
bet-
boogers.
I bet Jenny R. Johnson could do a good version of that third one.
No, I bet you're right. Oh, this is fun. Let's continue, shall we? This is good stuff. Let me pull this up here. Right here, it continues Day of Blood.
Yeah, Day of Blood continues in August. In July, IDW launches the 5-issue Day of Blood crossover with a one-off Day of Blood issue that is followed up with 4 issues between the ongoing Star Trek and Defiant comics. This includes part 2 in Defiant number 6 and part 3 in Star Trek number 11, coming in August, and part 4 with Defiant number 7 in early September. So description for Star
That's a lot
Trek
of
Defiant
numbers.
number 6. Yeah, I know, that was a lot. For Star Trek Defiant number 6, written by Christopher Cantwell, art by Angela Unzueta. The crossover event between Star Trek and Star Trek Defiant continues here in part 2 of Day of Blood. Wharf and Cisco begin their trek to Kalis' spire to stop the false prophet's siege of Kronos, with each other being the last man either wants to rely on. Meanwhile, Spock takes control of the bridge of the Theseus, reuniting with his old friend Captain Montgomery Scott, and desperately attempting to keep the Red Path's Bloodwings at bay. Oh, yeah, all sorts of crossovers there.
Look at this picture, though.
Whoa.
Oh man, look at that.
Pretty cool. Lovely.
Mhm.
Klingons. And Data's
Yeah.
looks
The
like
title looks awesome.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Star Trek Defiant.
Who's
Like
there on
that.
the right in that picture? Can you tell who was the human on the right or humanoid on the right?
It looks like
look
it's
like
another
Data.
Data. Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like it's 2 Datas.
Okay.
Because I believe he's in the comics with Captain Cisco.
Okay.
And then here is the other comic front here. It's got everybody just listening in. It's got
Yeah.
Cisco and Wharf, and they're doing like the arm wrestling handshake. You know, like they're handshaking,
Yeah.
like let's do this, but it looks like they're arm wrestling.
There was an implication in that quote up there that they're mad at each other for some reason. They said they
Yep.
wanted to be the last people to rely on.
Exactly.
Oh, Jenny R. Johnson said Pike is on my list about art.
Woohoo.
Ooh.
Fun.
In an apron?
I didn't ask.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is he wearing in it? Well, this is interesting. I'm looking at the cover of another one here, and I feel like we've got to read the description to know what the heck. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but
Oh,
Oh,
looks like Tasha Yar.
yeah, it kind of
Sarah.
looks like Sela right
Sarah.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarah. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's see what's going on here. Mohammed, if you would.
Sure. Is it? Oh, it's not the same one. I thought it was the same one. Star Trek number 11, written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, art by Mike Fian. Day of Blood, Chapter 3. Only emissary Cisco and his crew of Starfleet's finest and disgraced ambassador Wharf and his band of insurgents can save the universe, but they are divided in every sense of the word. In space, Lieutenants Paris and Torres fight over control of the Defiant, while Spock and Scotty do everything they can to keep the Theseus from being cleaved in two. On the ground, Ro and Selah, here we go, have given up hope, and siblings Data and Lore can't see eye to eye, all while their captains resist the urge to tear each other apart. Can they defeat Kalis and his red path when they cannot overcome their own differences? Day of Blood, Chapter 3.
This sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It repeats the same quote after that. It's kind of funny.
So it was her. Wow,
Yeah.
there's so much more. Okay, so there's even more to this, you guys. So everybody at home, you have got to go check out this article by trekmovie.com
Totally.
because there's so much more to this. Wow, and the art looks cool.
Mhm.
What the heck? Right when I said the art looks cool, I pull up this thing. What the?
Oh my gosh.
What the heck?
What a cutie.
It's a Borgie Corgi or what?
Yeah, Morgie Corgi, exactly.
Come on. This can't
That's
be-
adorable.
Oh my gosh. The ears are amazing. So cute.
All right. Well, we have a very special guest joining in, everybody. So if you are ready to welcome him, or he's coming in just a second here. Matt Boardman in the live chat says we are Corgi of Borgie. I just don't even know. I don't even know. People like that thing.
The Corgi Borgie.
Cute.
Yeah. Little dog.
DJ Kitty Cat says, like in Cowboy Bebop. Good knowledge. Ask people, anybody you know, if you don't watch anime, but you know people that do watch anime, you say, what's the best anime? Most of them will say Cowboy Bebop. That's something I noticed a long time ago, was that everybody would say Cowboy Bebop's the best. And then I watched, was it the first episode? It was a series. And it wasn't
that
good.
one wasn't animated. That was
It wasn't
Right.
good.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. No. It was based off of it. Anyway,
half of the first of that.
anyway, so we do have that very special guest coming up. Actually, this will be fun. Let me
Anne Marie, her comment in the chat, the cutest of Borg.
That's awesome, Anne-Marie.
So cute.
So cute.
Anne-Marie, I never took you for somebody that loves pets. You know, it seemed
I mean,
kind of.
I don't like pets at all, but they look really cute when they're assimilated.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so that's what it is.
Like, that'd be a cute little stuffed animal.
Oh.
Keeping those nano probes away from you.
So adorable.
That's cute.
That's
All
cute.
right.
Whoa, good hint on who's coming in.
Yeah, so let's let him
Thanks for
in
listening.
now.
Excited.
Pull him in and have some fun. All right. So he's making his way in now. His name is Mr. Leonard Crowfoot, and you'll be seeing him in just a second. He's turning on his video as we look at his picture of him, an Angel One, or as Anne-Marie reminds us, Angeloni.
Angeloni.
Well, it looks like he's working on getting in. So Anne-Marie, can you just tell everybody who Leonard Crowfoot is, since you were the one that tracked him down in this entire giant world?
Thanks, Dr. Anne-Marie.
So I had heard Leonard do an interview about his time on Star Trek, but also he did a one-man like off-Broadway show for I think over a decade actually called Nijinsky Speaks. And so I watched a ton of clips from that on YouTube, which I was just like so blown away. But I love Nijinsky, first of all. But dancing, and I love the Star Trek episode.
Yes.
I'm such a fan girl.
Yay.
Like, I wish I could have seen Nijinsky Speaks.
Welcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
There he is, everybody.
I heard
Mr.
ya.
Leonard Crowfoot is here.
Yay.
thank you.
Amazing.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Leonard. It's so good to
Thank
see
you.
you again. And
Thanks.
thank you for giving us a reason to bring you on. You've got a big announcement to tell everybody in just a moment. But first of all, you were in Angel One. You were, as
Prince.
everybody remembers,
Yes.
you were also in Offspring was the Next Generation episode, if I remember correctly. You were Lal. And what was the Voyager one, Amory?
Virtuoso, one of my favorite
Virtuoso.
all-time episodes. So good.
So also
Yeah.
please meet Melissa Longo and Dr. Muhammad
Hi.
Noor here
Hello.
as well.
Hello.
Great to meet you. I loved your appearance on Seventh Rule earlier.
Oh, thank you
Yes,
very
me
much. Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like
Good to see
several
you.
people in the live chat actually said that was one of their favorite interviews ever.
Really?
Star Trek podcast.
That's very nice. Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, you moved
Speaking of
many
which-
people.
Yeah,
during
speaking of
that.
which, Leonard, including Denise
Denise.
Crosby, Melissa, after you left, Denise was just so moved by your story and what you said. And she openly discussed how much you moved her. And I only wish you could have seen it.
very nice.
I could send you the link so you can watch it. It was after you were gone on the episode, but you really have this amazing story that doesn't just touch people, but inspires people. And you say it and tell it so matter-of-factly, as if you've forgotten how much it can affect people, like, you lived it and everybody else is living it the second you're talking about it. So
Thanks.
it seems as though you've created something to where you can tell that story and move people.
Yes.
Going forward, can you please tell us all about that?
Well, it began as a hobby. I've always enjoyed writing. I've enjoyed music, playing music, and drawings. And those have been my hobbies. And I've been playing around with it for years and years and years. I've collected a lot of material. I just love tinkering. So I had a bunch of stories that I thought would work well in a certain category. I had about 90 categories to choose from, and I put them all into certain categories that I chose. And I wanted to share what I'd been doing. I reached some of my material I felt was ready to be heard, and so I thought I'd share it. And the first one is this one that just came out, which was a school day. It's about a boy who was crippled, and he was not allowed to go to school because they didn't have wheelchair accessibility. This was in the 1950s.
Mhm.
So he went directly into the second grade. And this story that I've written is that day that he went for the first time in school, and his perspective of what he went through that particular day, school day. And it's out in iTunes and Apple Music. I went with TuneCore, the distributor. And then afterwards, I'm going to come out with another one called Showbiz Tunes, Showbiz Stories. And that's going to be out in June 5th. And then after that, I'm doing another album, which is called Heartfelt Stories. And then I'm doing another one after that, which is called Rarities. So they're all stories with music, and they're they're dear to my heart. So I believe in them, and I wanted to share them. And right now, the school day is out. Yeah.
Nice.
It was so much fun doing it. I can't begin to tell you. I worked on GarageBand, and I took to it like duck takes to water, which is so much fun, And yeah, so and now the school day is really autobiographical. It's my story.
But you're not really telling it as such. It sounds like you were saying it's
Third
about
person.
a kid, but
Third
you don't
person.
say that person is me.
That's right. I'm using it because I wanted distance. I wanted distance from the story itself. So all of my stories are in the third person. The showbiz stories are all in the third person, but many of them, there's a combination of fiction and nonfiction in all of my stories. So I get creative. Sometimes it's a totally invented characters and stuff like that. Other times it's based on a real life story, but it's been mingled around. It's been switched around. I had one with the Carol Channing. There's like 3 different stories all in one, and I made it into a story. Another one with Ray Bolger, that's the showbiz stories. I had an episode with him, and that I tell that episode, and one with Ethel Waters and Gene Kelly, and name people.
Wow.
And then other ones with just made up stories, invented characters. I like to invent characters and voices. Yeah, I'm having a ball doing it. So
I can't wait.
Sounds like it.
I just pulled it up on the iTunes store just to see how to find it. So you have to go to the music section to look for it under songs, and it's like 8 minutes 25 seconds.
Right.
Here's the picture.
An even
I think we have
easier
the
way.
link for it.
Yes,
There
an
you go.
even easier way is Leonard has provided us with the links.
Oh, much better.
Everybody, in the description box of this video, there are 2 links. They both go to it. They're both there. Let me see. One is an iTunes link, and the other one is an Apple Music link. If you don't see it in the description box right now, then at the end of this video, when we're done, just hit refresh, and it'll show up. It'll be right there. And then you just click directly to it.
Is the
Thank
picture a drawing of you as a kid, Leonard, or is that?
it's my drawing. That I had help with sizing it to make it a square. Robin Palanker, she did that for me, and I was most grateful because I couldn't figure it out. But everything else is mine. I recorded, I conceived it, recorded it, mixed it, mastered it, did all of everything, But yes, the drawings are mine, and when I come out with the Showbiz Tunes stories, that's my drawing, and all of the drawings are mine of the covers. Yeah.
So excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks. I really enjoyed it.
And congratulations for getting it out too.
Yes. Yes.
I feel proud about that, and I'm pleased. Yeah.
So everybody in the live chat here is going nuts for you here, Leonard. They are saying things like, May Borello says, yes, Leonard Crowfoot. Allison Leach Hyde says, hi, Leonard. David Gregory says, Leonard is such a nice guy. Dave Gregory says, oh, welcome, Leonard. Shag840 says, hey, Leonard, nice to see you in some clothing. Oh, that's funny.
I think that's an Angel One reference, I hope.
I don't vet these before I read them. I just read. Lisa Mackey says, hi, Leonard. She's out in Montreal, of course. Thomas Bartoldi says, awesome. Matt Boardman says, yay, this is so much fun. And he says it was really an amazing interview. Linda Andreg says, we love Leonard. Allison says,
so nice.
Yes, it was a lovely interview. Chuck A says, hey, Leonard. Puka says, was a fun interview. Dave Gregory says, he's lean and mean for sure. Not really sure what that means, but
That
it sounds
was in
good.
reference to the close comment from the Star Trek episodes.
Anne Marie, behave yourself.
Well, was
And
it
Thomas-
Leonard that brought up the buns?
Latex buns.
Also, Thomas,
my real butt show.
maybe next time. There's still time. Thomas Bartoldi says, good to have you here, Leonard. And so
Wow.
on and so forth. Lots of great stuff. People love you.
Lisa
Isn't
Mackey
that-
asked if
That's so nice. So nice. And I just got a letter, a fan letter from
Oh.
Germany.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, they want. I get them on occasions, and I sign
Aw.
autographs and all of that. It's so sweet, so nice. I've met so many people, so many people. It's just amazing, amazing. Well, thank you for having me on. It's just you guys are just terrific, and thanks for reading all those wonderful people's comments.
Lisa
Really
Mackey was asking also if it's available on Spotify too.
Yeah, I don't know, not yet, but I'm trying to get it on there.
Okay, awesome.
It turns out I have to have a artist page, so I don't have that yet. So
Got it.
I guess I need the artist page to be able to be on Spotify. But I'm trying to get on there. I should be on. It is streaming, so those who are savvy, not unlike me, to figure out the gadgets but it's out there. Not just iTunes and Apple Music, but it's there. It's going to be all over. Yeah, hope so.
And once it's up on Spotify, then we'll also have to get it up on Spotify Canada for Lisa Mackey.
Nice.
No, I'm sure that's all the same thing, but you never know with those Canadians with their Molson Ice. You just never know. May Borello asked, this is a great question. She asked, has Leonard ever been to Star Trek Las Vegas?
No. Mm-mm.
You really should.
No, I've never been to the conventions. I never went to them. No.
Would you consider it?
Sure, of course. Sure. I've met a number of people. One time in Hollywood, I met this guy who stopped me. He says, "Hey, you're Lau." You know, he's Lau.
Wow.
I guess he'd seen a picture of me in and out of the costume. Yeah, it's kind of amazing that really.
Did he toss you an apple, or what was the thing Data tossed?
No, not an apple. Was it an apple?
What was the thing Data tossed to Lal?
I don't remember.
And then, okay, never mind. Somebody in the live chat will know.
Yeah.
You know, it's something to consider though, going to Star Trek Las Vegas.
A lot of fun.
It might be a thing. That could be pretty cool.
Right.
We can
August
we'll
3rd
talk
for this coming one.
Yeah.
When?
August 3rd.
August 3rd. Oh, how neat.
The 6th. August 3rd to 6th. Yeah. And it's at the Rio in Las Vegas. We can talk afterwards to see if you're interested in being connected to that.
Thanks.
Absolutely. People in the live chat, Matt Boardman says, I think he'd be a hit at Star Trek Las Vegas. It's because of your effervescent personality, Leonard. Can you, I know we only have you for a couple minutes here, but before you go, can you tell everybody just any Star Trek story you like? You've been on the set 3 times, 3 completely different characters. Is there any fun story you'd like to share?
Well, you know, with Lal, you know, in the room that they had me, I was on the gurney and I was resting, right? You got to imagine all these masks around these creatures, and I'm there, and a gentleman walks in the door, and I suddenly turn my head, and he freaks out, nearly has a heart attack. He's an older gentleman, and he thought I was a mannequin. You know?
Wow, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
You know, he just near had a heart attack. But I mean, yeah, that was cool. They let me be in the makeup room the whole time. That was really fun for me, as opposed to be alone in a trailer or something. You know, that was just very generous of them. You know, to allow me to be in that room, but it took a lot of times for the makeup. Oh gosh, it was a lot of hours, and then to take the makeup off was in the shower. We had to.
Yes, How did they get the makeup off you in the shower, Leonard? By the way,
The first time it wouldn't come off. You had to take a spatula. It was like just
Very glamorous.
Oh,
Very
going on,
Hollywood glamour.
and yeah, I mean, it was difficult. Then the next day they realized that they could put some sort of solution on my body that it would come off easier
with an egg beater.
the next day, with an egg beater. Yeah, it was it was quite an ordeal in that shower, and you get all this gold paint going down the drain, and this is the executive shower, this is not we kind of infiltrated that because I had to take the makeup off and whatever, because it's gold paint, it's like not it's toxic, could be.
Oh,
so yeah, that was Magilla.
Wow.
Well, as you know, though, hanging out in the makeup room is where you get the best gossip. So it's certainly better hanging out in the makeup room than just going and sitting in a trailer by yourself. It's much more entertaining, and you get to see Klingons or whatever walking in and out. Well, Leonard, we really do appreciate you hopping on and saying hello to us, especially
Thank you.
so
I
last
appreciate
minute.
it.
Yeah.
We love having you.
congrats
Tons
again.
of fun.
Thank
And
you very much.
everybody at home, remember, if you don't see the links in the description box, just hit refresh on this video and they will appear. And go support Leonard's stuff because it's great stories. He's a great person, and he's got tons more stories coming. So you might as well just listen to them right now so you don't get backlogged.
Thanks.
Good point.
Because then they'll have to catch up on like 8 stories. You might as well just start knocking them out right now.
Wait.
Wait till I get to my songs.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Leonard. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you. We hope you have a fantastic springtime, and we'll talk real soon.
Thank
Okay, I'll shoot you an email.
Thank you very much. Good to see you all. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
So nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you. So that was one of the coolest humans of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
Isn't he wonderful?
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, if you haven't been to his website, leonardcrowfoot.com, or on YouTube to watch his dancing clips, it's just, oh my God, it's amazing.
Actually, let me
mind-blowing.
put that in the live chat.
Yeah, Dave Gregory wrote, "You exude kindness and positivity, Leonard. It's a must for you to get to STLV."
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he would do very well there
do
because
very
people
well.
would they just walk by and they see his smiling, charming face, and they
yeah.
would automatically want to talk to him. Then they find out
Yeah.
who it is.
They
I
have
think
great
he'd do great,
stories.
yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
And the fans would love to see him. He'd also be great in a panel. Just a good guy all around.
And if anybody can't find it in iTunes too, just search Crofoot School Day and it comes up that way.
Remember, everybody, Crofoot is spelled without the W, though. That's the one key. So it's CRO foot.
Yeah.
CRO foot.
Amazing.
And back to the new that I can spell.
No, just that whole segment.
She's like, you did it, Ryan, twice in a row.
Good job.
Oh man.
Well, we're almost out of time too. Wow. I mean, perfect
Yeah.
timing.
Oh, great. I just
So
pulled up the news and I'm
amazing.
back on that Corgi picture. Get out. So a couple more very quick news items or more like editorials. Both of them are Deep Space Nine related, if that's okay with all of you. This is screenrant.com. Quote, this is Cirroc Lofton's quote. "It would be a dream to reprise Jake Cisco, DS9 Cirroc
Nice.
Lofton, on his Star Trek comeback." So everybody in the live chat, let us know. There's a whole article on it. Great interview here. He also mentions the Cisco Day and the 7th rule, all kinds of great stuff there. Actually, let's read the quote very quickly. It says, Cirroc says, those things are out of my control with reference to whether he would return to a Star Trek series or movie. He says, those things are out of my control. The Star Trek powers that be make all of those decisions. Star Trek has new people at the controls, at the helm. And so it is possible. I'm not closing the door on the realm of possibility, because I think that's one of the things that Deep Space Nine talks about. They talk about the dreamer and the dream. Ooh, A+.
Yeah.
And if you close yourself to possibilities, then you close yourself to those dreams. Sure, it would be a dream of mine to reprise the role of Jake Sisko and do it again. So I will never close the door on those dreams. Oh, wait, there's more to this. This is exciting.
He's so eloquent.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm like, we can maybe write that eloquently, but how does somebody just naturally flow that eloquently?
Yeah.
That's not
he's
fair.
amazing guy.
So he mentioned some things John Orchiola of Screenrant does about there can be a Deep Space Nine crossover with Lower Decks, perhaps seeing Jake in the 25th century of the Star Trek Picard proposed spinoff, Legacy, of course. That's interesting. Also, Star Trek
he
Prodigy.
mentioned in the Trek movie interview with Laurie Ulster that he envisions that he probably dated Mariner, and so he could show up on Lower Decks.
Yeah,
back when she was on Deep Space Nine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Here it is, right here.
Maybe he's going to write an expose on Section 31.
Very quickly, that article is right here, trekmovie.com. The interview, or it's entitled "Interview Cirroc Lofton and Denise Crosby on Watching and Podcasting Star Trek TNG Season 1." This is a great interview. I'm sure it's the first interview with Cirroc and Denise together. It's got to be. I can't imagine there was ever any reason for the two of them in the same interview. But it's a great interview by Laurie Ulster of trekmovie.com. So definitely check that one out. This one was just at the end of middle of last week that it came out, and it's great. It goes deep. It's long. It's got a lot of information. It's really, really good. And I read it all the way. Oh, that's a great picture. So definitely check that out. Good stuff there.
The ultimate crossover.
Also, along those lines, boy, the last week has been very Deep Space Nine and Seventh Rule heavy, with the Cisco Day, with a bunch of articles written up by people about Jake Sisko and the Cisco Day. There was also redshirtsalwaysdie.com. Cool name. I mean, if you're into death and stuff. And that is right here, Red Shirts Always Die.
By Rachel Carrington.
And it's entitled "The Cisco Day is on May 22nd, and here's how you can celebrate." So check that one out, because they don't just talk about the Cisco Day that just passed, but a whole bunch of other cool stuff. And it kind of brings in some other articles, like the one by Trek Movie here. So check this one out as well. It's a great one. A lot of stuff. Lastly, we don't even have time for lastly. Damn it. All right. Stay tuned on Friday. I want to talk about this thing too. I haven't read it, but it looks fun. It's also a Screenrant one by Mark Donaldson. It says, "Every Deep Space Nine Season 8 idea Star Trek should make canon." So I don't know if they're only taking it from the documentary or what. But this is definitely a fun one to take a look at in the coming days.
I see some polls coming on this.
Yeah. And some Russians, some Germans. They're all coming. They really want to hear this.
Maybe telephone polls, maybe.
Yeah. That's where I feel like there's got to be a joke about, the worst place to take a compass, Poland, because there's a bunch of poles everywhere, and if you're at the North Pole or something. Yeah, I feel like I just got to deliver it a little better, but I feel like there's a joke there, right? It's kind of a good one.
Mochi has joined us.
everybody in the live chat, let us know if that joke is worth workshopping, as Dr. Anne Marie says. Let's move forward and talk about the week. But before we
trivia?
do that,
Yeah. I've got a tough one this time. So we had some easy ones out there, so I wanted to put a tough one out there. So we just had Leonard Crowfoot, which was great. And as Anne Marie said, he was in a Voyager episode. So there's a Voyager trivia question this time.
Ooh.
So the question is, what is the name? The question is, what is the name of B'Elanna Torres's great grandparent who was named in the show? Great grandparent.
You need to make these multiple choice.
I don't think it would have helped in this case.
Well, I remember her great grandparent in that episode where she went to Stogogor to meet her.
I don't think that's the same episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, that's good.
B'Elanna Torres's great grandmother.
Great grand. So I'm saying, so I think I'm just going to say great grandparent to be safe, because the way it was described, it was they didn't say a gender.
Interesting.
So I'm saying great grandparent.
I like this.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot of like dang and stuff like that. Somebody came close. Somebody actually had the name of her grandmother, but I said great grandmother.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's talk about the week here. I'm sure everybody's gonna get this.
Somebody's already got it too.
Yeah, I think I know what it is. Yeah. Based on the live chat, not based on
Yeah.
my brain.
Wow.
Same.
All right. So the week. Look, yesterday was the gigantic inaugural, the Cisco Day, May 22nd. Every year it will be May 22nd, all the way up to the year 2369, when it actually happens that Commander Benjamin Lafayette Cisco first sets foot on Deep Space Nine and opens up his brand new journey.
We'll archive
was
the
made-
website then.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll we'll still be doing it.
Yeah.
We'll be a little older, but whatever.
A little bit.
They got like Botox and like creams and stuff, right?
Cryogenic stasis or whatever.
So anyway, the website is theciscoday.com, and all of the videos are all still up. Theciscoday.com. You can also go to the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, and 10 out of the 15 videos are all there on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, the live ones, the premieres, the everything. Or you could just go to theciscoday.com and look through the whole schedule and just click on the picture, and it will take you to the corresponding video. They will stay up forever, all the way until Benjamin Lafayette Cisco steps foot on Deep Space Nine and they say, "Welcome, emissary. Check out these videos that are like 400 years old."
It was foretold.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was foretold. Smart. But anyway, tomorrow on the Falling Tower YouTube channel, there will not be a Watch the First episode, because that Watch the First episode was pulled forward 2 days to be part of the Cisco Day. So check that out. Go to the Falling Tower YouTube channel and check out our review, myself, Muhammad, and Rico E. Anderson. The show was called A Man Called Hawk, starring Mr. Avery Brooks, of course, so it's perfect for the Cisco Day. What a coincidence. Check that out. Also, the brand new full review of our Star Trek Next Generation episode on the Seventh Rule. It's all there. It was all dropped yesterday, so enjoy that. Fast forward a few days. This coming Friday, right here on this channel, we have Star Trek and Chill live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Muhammad's Chill. You know, when I worked in a restaurant, some cooks used to call me Chili Willy. I just remember that. They go, "Hey,
Penguin.
Chili Willy."
The penguin.
Yeah, Chili Willy.
Wow.
You know, I'm always like, hey, if you give me a nickname, fuck it, I'm happy with it. It's usually a nice thing, you know.
I just watched a show called Miranda, and she owns a joke shop.
I love that show.
whole bunch
What?
of chocolate willies.
It's
does
Miranda
that
Hart's
mean?
show from
Yes.
UK.
Well, a wet willy is if you put your finger in your mouth and then stick it in someone's ear. So what's a chocolate willy?
It means something different in the UK, a willy. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I guess that's actually better than what I feared. honestly. Anyway, moving on, everybody. Sorry, we got to move on. But again, on the Virtual TrekCon YouTube channel right here, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Friday. Check it out. We're going to be talking all about the fun Deep Space Nine Season 8 stuff and whatever else happens to happen. Then on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel on Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time,
No, don't
we
say
will be
it.
reviewing,
I don't
oh
want the game to
dear,
end.
Don't want the show to end or the game to
Skin of Evil, everybody.
Oh gosh.
Skin of
Oh,
Evil.
I'm still not ready.
Everybody get your black licorice ready for that episode, because we're gonna be like eating Armis the whole episode with black licorice or chocolate pudding or whatever you want.
Yum.
Blood pudding.
So it'll be a great one. Everybody come join us. We will be saying goodbye to Denise Crosby on the Seventh Rule, her final episode as Tasha Yar, kind of. She's also Tasha Yar in All Good Things. And in Yesterday's Enterprise, she's back as Sela as well. But for the time being, it's going to be a big episode. We're going to love it. We've had a great time with Denise Crosby. So check that out. That is on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel on Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern time. And that's it. That's this week. It's a crazy one. Oh, you guys, we got the Cisco data trend for 30
25
hours.
hours.
32 hours. We actually got the Cisco data trend on Twitter. Can you believe it?
Yes.
What a deal. We did that. All of us as a Star Trek community said, for the Cisco, this fucking guy deserves some damn respect. So let's make a trend, and people jumped to it. So thank you all very much. That was freaking amazing. The prophets were pleased. The paw rates were livid, but we were happy. Anyway,
Gold Ducat.
Yeah, well, no, we like Gul Dukat too. He just misunderstood. He took care of the Bajorans.
Oh, that was Kai Wynn. She was misunderstood.
Yeah. Anyway, Mohammed, what is the answer to this trivia question?
All right. So Philantoris' mom, Miral. Miral is the daughter of Lanan. That is her grand. So if somebody said that so that would be B'Elanna's grandmother. Then Lanan is daughter of Krellick. That's the correct answer. Correct. So multiple people, Dave Gregory, Allison Leach Hyde, BL, multiple people got it. It was mentioned in prophecy. There was a point where B'Elanna made a prayer for in the episode Prophecy for her grandmother, and she said, Lanan, daughter of Krellick. That's why I said grandparent, because like if you go on Memory Alpha, it says great grandmother. But I'm like, well, I mean, it's not clear. It just said daughter of. I don't know if that's the mom or the dad.
All right, very interesting. Good stuff. All right, so
3 people got it at least.
Y'all are too smart. We got to make them harder, Mohammed.
I swear.
We got to do animated series trivia from now on. Only animated series. That's another thing that deserves more love.
Yeah.
Animated series.
Could be scripts. Like how many times across all of Voyager has the word "of" come up?
You need to.
Some kind of. So like
Yeah.
1,000.
All the ofs.
Like a
Seems to be
million.
some sort of. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great time. When you want to see surprise special guests as effervescent and wonderful as Leonard Crowfoot, and you want all the news on the Cisco Day, well, that stuff's everywhere. Everybody knows about the Cisco Day. People went nuts for it, and thank you all for that. But when you want to see people like Leonard Crowfoot and find out what the answer is to the question, how many times did they say "of" in Star Trek Voyager? Why don't you go ahead and put it on the main viewer, except for that second part.